Hi, I'm Jack Michael, and today we're going to be talking about virtual reality in education. So, virtual reality is part of XR, which stands for extended reality. That includes VR, virtual reality, and AR, which is augmented reality. AR displays digital information over the real world, and it includes these smart glasses and a lot of tablets and phones apps. So you can see on the right there, that's a tablet app that they might use at a workplace that tells them how much they have in stock and how far away things are. And on the left, you can see some smart glasses, which are kind of primitive in their technology right now. But as those become smaller and cheaper, we'll probably see a lot more of them. But mostly today, we're going to be talking about VR, virtual reality. And that replaces the entire field of view with an interactive digital landscape. And you can see on the bottom right there the holodeck from Star Trek, which we're not quite there yet, but maybe in a couple decades we'll have something like that. And it's usually worn as a headset, like on the bottom left there. And they usually come with two controllers, one for each hand. And these can be wireless or connected to a PC. And in 2022, the market value of VR was at $12 billion, dollars, and it's expected to go up to $22 billion dollars by 2025. So it's a growing market for sure. It is relevant to education for many reasons. It's excellent for STEAM learning, which includes science, technology, engineering, art, and math. So basically, anything you can put your hands on in real life, VR is going to be great for that. You can take virtual field trips with Google Arts and cultural expeditions, and you can visit 360 cities. So you could go to Rome, Paris, London, all in a day. And here you can see on the bottom right, this guy is on Google Earth VR flying over New York City. And you can visit historically significant events with Time Looper. So you could go back and check out World War II if you wanted to be there on the beaches of Normandy, maybe. And virtual art galleries like Boulevard allow for artistic experiences, and virtual laboratories like Labster here on the bottom left allow you to do laboratory simulations, probably a lot cheaper and safer than they would be in real life. So, some of the pros of VR: it is low stakes and low pressure, especially if you're not in an app with anyone else. If you're just by yourself, then no one's watching you, so there's not a lot of pressure there. Uh, if you're in like a laboratory setting like Labster, it's low cost compared to the real lab where you'd be going through materials and such. It encourages spatial learning, which is great for things like geometry or anything where you have to visualize stuff. And it can enhance cultural competence and empathy by allowing you to go to places you'd never be able to go to in real life, at least not in a classroom setting. So seeing other cultures firsthand might give you a better idea of how they uh, work. And it can improve muscle memory recall just by everything you do with your hands. You're going to remember better than just seeing it on paper. It is visual and tactile, which once again is great for STEAM learning. And it can also help learning languages because of all the audio outputs. And you can use it to practice teaching in front of a virtual classroom so you don't have any students to make you freak out or anything. And another pro is that you can collaborate remotely, which might be the biggest of them all because it helps you. You don't even need the classroom at that point. You can all work from home and everyone can team up and do the same thing. Some of the cons, it of course is expensive. Any technology, especially new technology, is going to be a big budget problem. There is a big change in VR, and it involves new curriculum, so a lot of people are kind of wary of that. Just people don't like change in general. And any computer related thing is going to have a size, battery life, and glitch problems. So that's just going to get better with time, though. And content quality can be an issue sometimes if you don't know where to find the right stuff. But a lot of those, like Google apps, are really good. So there is good quality content out there if you know where to look. Of course, when you're swinging your arms around with controllers and such, that takes up a bit of space, and there are safety issues. But usually, they have a built-in boundary system. So if you get too close to any objects or other people, it'll give you a heads up inside the display. So there is a little bit of safety issue there, though. and it can definitely cause motion sickness in a lot of people. So probably won't be using it for more than 10 minutes or so for most cases. There are some cases where it can instill false memories in children. If they spend too long, they'll think they might have been a place that they actually had never gone to before, which was kind of weird to me, but I guess that can happen. And it's not very great for reading and writing. Probably going to be better doing that on a computer or good old pen and paper most of the time. It's also very easy to get distracted in the virtual world when you have so many options at your fingertips. So, some research on the topic. The International Society for Technology and Education did a survey of 1,400 high schoolers, and among many results, 67% said they wanted to see XR used regularly in schools. So there's definitely a demand for it among teachers. A 2022 National Research Group study indicated that over 60% of participants thought XR was a useful learning tool for children. So once again, a lot of people think that the interest is there, and people are definitely, the majority of people are for it. A Stanford study also showed that participants who explored more of the virtual space formed deeper cognitive associations with the science content. And at Penn State, they did a research study with 54 undergraduates and had them assemble coffee pots, and some of them used the Oculus Rift and the others used traditional computer programming, and the ones using the Rift did it about twice as fast. So it's definitely good for hands-on learning and a lot of those engineering applications. Here are the ways it aligns with UDL in the classroom. For engagement, it can always new technology is enticing to students. They always like to be on the cutting edge and play with the newest stuff. And VR also allows for self-guidance and autonomy, since when you're in the virtual world, you can kind of pick where you want to go. And students can be differentiated by interest or readiness in virtual classrooms and lobbies to stimulate motivation. For representation, VR is pretty accessible to most people with eyes, and it provides video, audio, and tactile information to the user. And then you can also input with tactile and audio commands. It's pretty flexible. You can kind of pause and rewind a lot of things, go through stuff at your own pace the way you want. And with a lot of these apps, you can even change the language and such. And then for action, students can collaborate remotely, and they can team up to share their products with each other. They can take snapshots of where they've been on VR field trips and share them with their parents on social media devices, and they can have the opportunity to express themselves in front of their peers creatively. As far as building the learning environment, VR supports individual and collaborative learning by allowing students to work alone or with friends on projects and group activities. VR provides opportunities for learners' self-motivation by giving them control over where they go and what they observe while they are there. VR promotes active engagement and learning by allowing students to go places and do things they would never be able to do in real life. VR encourages positive social interaction by fostering friendships through virtual team building and problem solving. And overall, VR is best used as a supplemental tool to enhance the learning experience. So, thanks for watching my talk, and here are my resources. Have a good one.